Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Minsky, and today I have episode 2 of A Moment with Minsky. I'm here today with Orctify, who's one of the members of NorCal. He's one of the biggest content creators who has thousands, if not millions, of followers across all social medias, and is a great example of how to be a content creator in today's society. If you enjoy the content from today's video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more, and let's get at it. Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm here today with Orctify. Is that how I pronounce that, by the way?
Yep.
Orctify?
Yep.
Okay. I know a lot of people, including myself.
A lot of people get it wrong.
Or Setify or Ketify.
Yeah, it all works. It's all the same thing.
I feel you. But I'm with him today. He's a member of NorCal, and he used to be a member of Agro, so we have some connections there. And just kind of wanted to talk to him today about just some advice he would give to a lot of the content creators out there on how to grow and whatnot. I know he has, success with a lot of different platforms, whether it be TikTok or Instagram. He's about to hit 100K. Shout out to Orc on that.
Yes, sir.
His Twitch is growing quickly. He's on that path for partner. His YouTube is growing. Every part of you look at Orc and you just hear the word growing pretty much on socials. So, I figured why not reach out, see if we can have a one-on-one sit down with this man and see what he's doing right to kind of give some advice for those guys out there wondering how to do it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Do you have any advice out there for, people who are making content, on the daily and whatnot, and what you kind of been up to and where you started?
Yeah. So my biggest advice is don't focus on one platform. A lot of people always ask me, I've been streaming for 3 years and I have 2 viewers. How do I get my viewers up? And it's not always about just focusing on Twitch. I would say that if you have 4 hours to stream, maybe stream 2 hours and then the other 2 hours every single day, focus on TikTok or Instagram. Those are the 2 easiest to grow on. And then once you get followers on there, you just move them over to your Twitch, and that's how your Twitch grows. I mean, Twitch is the hardest platform to grow on. You can ask any content creator. Twitch is not easy at all. The way that their VODs are set up and the algorithm set up, it is very hard to grow on Twitch. So you just got to focus and learn different strategies to move people over from other social media platforms. But that's definitely the best way you can do it, especially moving over to Twitch. Or even if you want to move people over to your YouTube, move them from TikTok or Instagram, definitely the best way to do it.
So when you're saying about the content with TikTok, so what kind of content, I've been following you for a little bit now and whatnot, but what kind of content would you recommend to people out there on what they should be doing and what they should not be doing?
Honestly, I can't recommend anything. It's kind of just all about you. For me, I personally on TikTok, I usually just put my own clips in there. I kind of find out what works for me. But I've managed a bunch of people's TikToks. I'm currently managing Sizzle. And I manage people's Instagrams. There's tons of things you can learn, tons of different things you could do. I've seen all types of content work. It's just kind of whatever works best for you, what you enjoy making, and just making sure to pump it out. On TikTok, I'd say 2 to 3 times a day uploading, and then on Instagram, 1 to 2 times upload every single day. And you'll see movement, you'll see progress.
Like I said, I did an interview with Kari too. He was saying the same kind of thing and whatnot with that. But so one question that I've seen a lot of people asking is, how would you go about with the hashtags that you're using? Like, are you the type that at first you would just spam the hashtags and you realize, wow, this is maybe getting views but not seeing the traction I want to see, stuff like that?
Yeah. On Instagram, what I normally do is whoever's in your niche. So Instagram is all based on your niche. So mine is obviously Fortnite and streaming. That's where I mainly upload my content for. So I find people that are excelling in those categories, and I just kind of see what they're doing, see what works for them, and then implement it to my own stuff. And then for TikTok, I kind of just search up what I'm using. So if it's a Fortnite clip, I'll search up Fortnite, and then it'll be like Fortnite meme, Fortnite mares, Fortnite trick shot, whatever has the lowest amount of views. So probably in like the 100 to 200 million range. I usually use those because the lower views, the easier it is to get promoted to the top of that hashtag. So that's what I use for TikTok.
Yeah, instead of like spamming them.
Yeah, you won't get anywhere with those.
Yeah. A lot of people too talk about how I'm always hearing like, oh, Instagram's a dead app. It's not the right app to use to grow and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you look at yourself and you're growing on the daily with that, and you're what are your thoughts with that?
I had the same mentality. I said the same things. But as you grow on Instagram, and yeah, 20, 30, 40K is a lot on Instagram. And obviously I'm only at 100K. so it's not that far off. But the more you progress on Instagram, the more you really push things, you'll see a very large increase on your other social medias. I used to say, when I had like 20, 30K on Instagram, I would say, there's no reason to do Instagram. It's literally just like a flex. You're just flexing that you have followers at that point. But honestly, like now that I'm at 100K, I see insane growth. I'll go live on my Instagram right before I go live on stream, and I'll get like 40 follows instantly on my Twitch just because I went live on my Instagram. It's such a useful tool, and you just have to learn how to actually use that and make sure that you're bringing those followers over to other platforms.
I actually saw that the other day. So I've been following for a while, but I saw on your story the other day of you going live on Instagram right before you were about to do some duo fills.
Yep.
And I was thinking to myself, damn, that's gotta be one of the methods for sure.
It helps so much. And I want to shout out Ballers. Ballers was also in aggro with me. He's the one that told me to do that because I really wanted to hit partner. My average was starting to dip down. He said, dude, just go live on Instagram. I started going live on Instagram, and man, did my average go up. So I want to shout out Ballers for that because I would not be where I am on Twitch without him.
Hey, shout out to the boy Ballers, the boy.
That's the boy.
For sure. Well, that's awesome. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you got a lot of off-camera grinding to do. But speaking of grinding, what's your definition of it? Because I want to ask every single person I bring on to this. And you look in the community, and every single person has a different perspective of it. Some people say, "Oh, I've been grinding for a year for a team," or "Oh, I've been grinding off camera, I haven't been making content, been grinding." When you think of that word, what do you think of?
Definition is a lot more hardcore. I always say that if I owned a team, nobody would ever join, because my definition of grinding is if you're not uploading on every single platform, or at least almost every single platform every day, I don't want to hear it. If you've been grinding for a team for 1 year and you still got 20 followers on YouTube, you're doing something wrong. It doesn't matter how good or how poor your content is. As long as you're uploading, you're gonna gain subs, you're gonna gain followers. So my definition of grinding is just kind of how I I don't want to be hypocritical, so it's what I post. I post every other day on YouTube, post 2 to 3 times a day on Instagram, 2 to 3 times a day on TikTok. I tweet 2 to 6 times a day on Twitter. Just being active, being social. I mean, this is my full-time job. If I wasn't grinding, it would not be my full-time job. So that's my definition of grinding. And if you're not doing stuff like that, you're not grinding, you're just there.
Yeah, for sure. And how old are you, by the way?
I'm 20. I'm a junior in college.
Very nice. Well, see, it's doable, you guys. It's doable to balance everything out,
It really is. A lot of people always ask me, yo, should I drop out of high school? Should I drop out of college? You don't need to drop out to be able to do this. I played baseball full-time in high school. I was supposed to play baseball in college. I tore my shoulder, so I was unfortunately not able to play in college. But with all that time split up, even if I had to still play a sport, I think I'd still be able to do a little bit of content creation. But if that's your passion, that's what you love, you're going to have to make a sacrifice at some point. But you definitely don't need to drop out of school to do this.
Yeah, especially high school.
Oh, 100%. No, yeah, absolutely not.
I appreciate you taking the time today, man. I'm sure somebody will take some sort of value out of this conversation, whatnot.
I hope so.
Before I get going, you're about to hit that 100K by the time I get this edited and uploaded and whatnot. I was going to say, is there anything you want to shout out specifically, any single social, but I figured that might be the one, What do you think?
Add Orctify on every single social media. It doesn't matter what it is. You search up Orctify, you'll find me. Search me up on Google, you'll find me. It's as simple as that.
Google top rating?
I'm the top search on everything. No matter what it is, I'm top search.
You got that SEO going for you.
Hey, look, you got to make your name creative. My 14-year-old self made a weird name that made no sense, but I knew at that point that if you make a name that's super creative that nobody else has, you'll be the top of the search. Even back in, I think it was like 2014, I made it. So even back then, I knew that I had to make something different, had to make something unique, and that's what I came up with. So
hey, there you go. There it is. Well, awesome, man. I appreciate you taking the time today, and
of course.
I'll talk to you soon.
You too. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Man. Take care.